Voiceover Social.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm all right. Are you all right?
I'm all right, yeah, I'm good.
Good. You been up to anything fun?
Oh, well, it's all been exciting because I know you have as well. We have been looking for venues for the great big Voiceover Social. Woo! We have found there's one venue that we can't give a date out yet, but we're hopefully really close to finalising with them. Fingers crossed. One venue wanted to charge us 12.5 grand. 12.5 grand, Rob. They wanted $6 non-refundable upfront straight away deposit.
Yeah, that's going to make the whole thing quite expensive.
I mean, I just don't think I've got that kind of money in our bank account either.
Well, I know we haven't.
I mean, absolutely bloody ludicrous amount of money for a very swanky bar, which, would probably cost about 18 quid to get a drink as well. So we're not using that one. Anyway,
we've got quite a lot to get through today. So what have we got coming up?
So our first guest is Bhavnisha Parmar, who has been interviewing us and grilling us and digging deep into us, and it was so lovely getting to chat to her.
And we also have the return of the Panic Room. But we'll get a little bit more about that later. Let's have a chat with Bhav first. As a special treat for everyone in this episode, we have our good friend Bhav here, and she's going to interview us. So she's going to essentially take over the guesting responsibilities for the next 10, 15, 20 minutes, however long. I might edit that later when we know how long the finished piece is. Bhav is an award-winning actress and voiceover artist, best known for her regular role in season 13 of Doctor Who, playing the fun and witty Sonia Khan, as well as the hit series Brothers with No Game and film drama Amy and Frank, playing opposite Ricky Harnett. Other screen credits include BBC, Sony, Samsung, War Child and the short film To Live For. Bhav is also a voiceover and has voiced for global brands such as Oral B, Nivea, Apple, Twitter, Expedia, Panasonic, BBC, Calm, Revolut, Unilever, Spotify, Goldman Sachs, HSBC and many more. She works across lots of different genres, including commercial, corporate, explainers, e-learning, B2B products, online ads, radio, gaming, animations, audio dramas, VR technologies and documentaries, passionately championing diversity and inclusion. Most recently, Bhav has been nominated for multiple awards, including SOVAS, Vox and One Voice, and she's also the winner of the Telly Awards for her work on various DPD ads. Bhav is currently the voice of Oral B and Nivea, and he's playing a range of roles in AAA games due to be released in 2024. He's the voice of Apple India, a resident Calm app narrator, and the host of The Chill Show on the BBC Asian Network. And after that massive introduction, we have now run out of time. Hello, Bhav.
Hello. Hi, how are you?
We're very well.
Oh, thank you for trawling through all of that.
That is a spectacular list of clients. I didn't know all of those either. I didn't realise you were the voice of Apple. How exciting.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, so that is obviously Apple in India, not Apple here in the UK. But of course, I work in the Indian accent. So
it's a really small market, India, isn't it? It's a tiny country. No one's there.
Nobody's even heard of it. But that's awesome. And thank you for, as I said, thanks Rob for getting through all of that. I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah, we're excited. Thank you so much for helping us out and offering to grill us. I'm kind of terrified.
I mean, the whole point of this is so that people who don't know us get to know us, and as an added bonus to that, they're going to get to know the lovely Bhav as well.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I hope so. I'll start kind of just in an easy way. Just, I think, for anybody that might not kind of, want to get to know a little bit more about you. In a minute or two, which you did beautifully for myself, tell us how you came about doing what you do.
Okay, I mean, there is a very long story, which I won't bore you with, but which kind of starts in my teenage years. As for a lot of sound engineers, I've started out playing in bands and stuff. But I kind of realised I enjoyed sort of the tech and the putting things together side as much as I enjoyed the actually playing the music side. So long story short, ended up going to private college in the late 90s to train to be a sound engineer. And after that, I got a job. My first job in audio was in a voiceover production studio where I stayed for 12 years, I think it was. And the last year of that, I was doing my own side project as well as working full-time for the studio. And that, my side project in 2013, became my full-time job, which is essentially doing what I do now with the studio consultancy and the training and all the rest of it. And it was 2018 when me and Helen became a limited company together.
So very experienced then.
Yes, yeah.
Would you say?
Professionally, old. Yes, old. I think is a diplomatic way of putting it. Thank you, Helen. Professionally, I've been an audio engineer for over 20 years. But you can easily count a decade before that doing it on a hobby level, which in a lot of ways, the hobby level with its lack of resources forces you to be creative and makes you come up with all sorts of solutions which you never dream of doing in the professional environment when you have, the moon on a stick at your disposal. Because, you're trying to do things on such a tiny, tiny budget with no resources. So, you just have to get inventive. And I think that is a really good kind of grounding for problem solving, which is kind of a large part of kind of what I do now, problem solving in the future.
So like a creative playground, as it were.
Yeah, kind of. But, you're kind of working with a very set goal. So it's, it's not quite carte blanche. You've got like a group of 5 people who want to put a gig on, but they've got no PA. So you just have to kind of scrabble around and find enough resources just to make the singer as loud as the guitars and, stuff like that, which I spent quite a long time in my teenage years doing.
Helen, next, tell us about yourself. Tell us about how you came about doing what you did. Or what you do.
Yeah, so I guess I was a bit more traditional in that I did school and then did university, although I didn't do school particularly traditionally because I was not that great at it. So I did 3 years at A-level. My art teacher at the time is basically one of the reasons that I ended up doing what I'm doing. She let me do art A-level without having done art GCSE, so I had to do it over 3 years. And that basically led me into doing design. I did foundation year and then I went to university doing graphic design. My first job was doing web design for an e-learning company. And again, back then, e-learning is very, very different to what it was now. I worked for years in various kind of in-house design teams, marketing agencies, advertising agencies. I worked for charity. I worked for housing association, and as a Rob will confirm, I got made redundant an awful lot, particularly with marketing and advertising. The minute an agency loses a big client, they make redundancies. It was standard. Yeah. I left design for a year. I did account management, which was creative industry stuff, but it wasn't actually doing any of the design work, but it was related enough to actually get me a job.
Yeah.
And then I got made redundant from that as well. And it forced me to, basically, I had no work. Rob had fairly recently gone self-employed. I think it was maybe 6 months prior to that.
Yeah, 6 months.
He'd gone self-employed because I had this lovely stable job. And then I didn't have a lovely stable job. I didn't have any job. So I had to freelance, and being a freelance designer was the quickest way for me to earn money. So I started freelancing, and not long after that, I kind of realised that actually I liked not working for other people.
And don't. Isn't that why we're all here?
Yeah, and I'd never realised that was allowed. I mean, I suddenly started enjoying doing what I was doing. I was getting paid properly for what I was doing. I was getting a lot more respect from the places that I was working because it was on my terms, not theirs. Yeah. And then slowly through that, because obviously Rob and I are married, we started kind of going to the same events, some networking events, some conferencing kind of stuff. And I already knew a load of Rob's voiceover friends from the area anyway. And slowly but surely people started asking me, they knew I was freelancing and they started asking me to do work for them. So after a few years of not really classing myself as a voiceover specialist at all, I kind of launched into it and went, okay, this is obviously something that people want. So yeah, and then I started specialising in branding a web.
But you guys have built a business together. So I'm going to ask I'm going to ask this question. I'm hoping it doesn't open up. I'm joking. I'm hoping it's, what is it like working together? Because I know a few people who have a creative business together, or even just a business together. You know, it could be in housing, it could be in whatever it might be. But I feel like personally, from my standpoint, you really complement each other in your working styles. But go on, tell us the truth. I'm going to start with you Helen.
So I guess my top tip to being able to cope with working with Rob is to have different offices. I think
Space.
Definitely different spaces. I mean, it's weird because when you think that we live together, we're married, we work together, it can feel a bit much. And one of the things we've had to learn is actually carving out space where we're not in each other's faces all the time, which is quite nice. I don't know, it works. We work quite separately as well as together, and I think that's why it works. So I manage all my web and design clients myself. Those are kind of looked after by me. Rob looks after his clients. And while we do have clients that cross over, there's nothing that we do for our clients together as yet, particularly. I mean, there's the socials and things like that, but we get to do the kind of fun stuff together, which is great. So we get to go to the conferences and we get to go to the socials and we get to do stuff like the VO social together. And then we've kind of got each other supporting each other when we've got the really shitty crap stuff to do. And so we kind of help each other get through the painful bits, and neither of us are good at maths. And the idea of doing our accounts is horrible. So we kind of have each other's back a bit on the stuff that we both find difficult as well, which is quite nice. But I think the key to it really is that actually we work fairly separately in a lot of stuff, because me and Rob have very different ways of working, really.
And I guess that complements each other in a way. Like, you think about any kind of relationship, best friends, husband, wife, siblings, like if you have like different qualities about you, like naturally being around each other and living together, obviously you're going to pick those things up. And I'm basically asking Rob, has Helen made you more organised?
No.
Oh, God, I wish I had.
Many people have tried. Many people have failed. I am organised, but I'm organised in a very different way to Helen. Helen is a bit of a control freak, and I think she'd admit that herself. I know she would. And so there's a lot of things that she does which I just are so foreign to the way that I do them. I don't know. You know, like even just like going onto her Mac and trying to find a file somewhere. Her sidebar on her Finder window is so different to mine. I don't know how to find anything on her computer. Whereas on mine, I can, pinpoint stuff like that because I know exactly where I keep things. I know how I file things. Yeah. If you look around our offices, you will see something very different. Helen has very much kind of prettified her office and made it a nice space to be in. It's kind of nice. It's light, it's airy. It's got plants. It's got pictures on the wall. All the rest of it. Mine is an absolute
horrible.
It's an absolute tip. But I know where everything is. But things aren't, put away as Helen would like things done. So.
I mean, there's a reason Rob's studio is in the attic as well, because otherwise that's the space I don't have to go into as often, and I don't have to walk through it. So I can cope with it being up there. He has his little man cave.
And you don't mind. Yeah, you're just like, I don't mind what's going on up there.
No, I can just shut the door and pretend it's not there. It's all good.
Have you both got something that you've worked on, even like, Rob, I think for yourself, it might be even helping somebody create a show reel that's like got them a client that they really wanted, or like a studio that, now allows them to work more freely, or whatever it might be. Like, have you both got something that you're really proud of?
I mean, I've got lots of instances of show reels and studios that I've helped create, which have kind of absolutely done the job. And it's lovely knowing that people are trusting us, with things which are so important to their business. I think there's two things which I'm particularly proud of, and neither of them are actually any of the things that you've mentioned.
Go for it.
The first thing actually I'm going to say is the theme tune for the VO Social podcast.
Oh my God, I'm in love with it. Oh my God, that theme. When I heard it, I actually was just like, this is incredible. And then you kind of broke down how you actually did it. I was like, that's even more incredible. It's such a catchy, amazing tune.
The reason that I'm particularly proud of that is that it's something which I don't do on a daily basis. I do very, very little music production, very little music anything at the moment. And so being able to play with that was a really nice thing. I have actually written a blog about the process of putting it together, which you can find on our BEE website. We'll put that in the show notes. Putting that together and how it's come out, I'm really, really pleased with how it's come out. The other thing I'm proud of is something that we did years ago. In fact, it's a job that me and Helen did together in 2015. And it was a film that we did for United Nations conference, the name of which has totally escaped me. And it was a little kind of animation thing that we did. It's a Goals for Girls conference. So it was all about, promoting female rights in the developing world in particular, but obviously globally. Helen did all the pictures for it, and I did the animation and put the music onto it and all the rest of it. And it was about a 3-4 minute animation. What I'm particularly proud of about that is, well, there's two things. Firstly, I won't entirely bore you with how we got that job, but it wasn't something that we offered in the past, and it's nothing that we've offered since to put this kind of animation together. But I was basically having to teach myself After Effects while I was I thought, I need this thing to move there in such a manner, and then I was kind of figuring out how to do that in After Effects, which is the way that I learn. I always kind of learn best on the job, so to speak. And so kind of putting things together in that way. And the other reason that I'm really proud of that is actually because I did that while I had a broken ankle and I was in plaster. And so my doctor was telling me I had to kind of elevate my ankle and keep it above the level of my knee so that the swelling would go down and all the rest of it. I couldn't get into my studio, so I had to do it all in Helen's, because Helen's is on the first floor of our house and my studio's in the attic. So I had to basically sit at Helen's desk, prop my leg up as much as I could, which was nowhere near enough. And then I'd sit at Helen's desk for half an hour until my leg was aching too much. And then I'd hobble over, lie down on our bed with me leg elevated for half an hour till it wasn't hurting anymore. And then hobble back to Helen's studio and do another half hour's work on the animation. And that was done to quite a tight deadline. So I managed to teach myself After Effects and actually get the work done in little half-hour stints like that, and we did meet the deadline. So, really, really pleased with that job. Still really pleased with that job.
That's awesome, and that just shows that kind of, I guess, that perseverance. Like sometimes, you think it might be better to say rest out and just not do it, but again, it was something you wanted to do. It was something you wanted to challenge yourself with, and you did it. So, Helen, have you got anything that you've kind of really springs to mind when someone asks you that question?
It's really difficult. I don't know if there's one particular thing. That's
kind of why I went back to 2015.
Yeah, it's so hard. There was one guy that I worked with, one voice that I worked with fairly early days, who after I'd worked with him, and it's got absolutely nothing to do with me, but he went on to win Best Newcomer at One Voice, which was a complete buzz, because it was just seeing them get that confidence to be able to do what they do, and the clients that he's now getting is insane. I don't really claim any of it. It's just nice been watching it. I don't know. I mean, it's lovely. It's always nice when clients come back.
Yeah.
That's always. I never take it for granted. But I don't know if there's one particular project. I don't know.
I mean, it's always nice when clients do come back and celebrate their successes. Not necessarily, as Helen said, not necessarily anything to do with us, but, when we have worked with a client and we see them go on to win awards, or they're on the social media saying, I've just got this amazing contract from Redacted, whatever, it's always really nice
so
just
cool.
to kind of help them kind of celebrate, their wins.
When Rob used to work, I've been working in the voiceovers for so many years, and when he used to describe what it was like when he used to go to like really early Voxes many years ago, and he'd come back, and I don't get, why are you all in the room together? Why do you all like each other? And why do you always have fun? And it was just like such a foreign concept, certainly from working in advertising and marketing, where basically everybody's out to backstab you in as many possible ways as they can think of to try and get one over on you to get a client or whatever. And it took me a while to kind of, it wasn't until I started going and seeing and meeting people, and I really understood just how supportive and collaborative it is, and it never stops amazing me. Like every time we go to an awards ceremony and we see people in there genuinely cheering on and celebrating with people who have just won the award that they were nominated for, it never fails to amaze me how much love there is and how much genuine care there is.
Yeah, I think everybody really steps in and just supports people. That's what I love. Like, whatever anyone's doing, wherever they're from, whatever their background is, I think people just, they just really want to kind of make sure that propping people up.
Yeah, and this is why we were very keen to take on the VO Social is because we want to celebrate that. We want to kind of help the voiceovers to celebrate each other. We are very supportive of voiceovers supporting each other. And so it's a small thing, 10 local groups get to meet, and then obviously more people listen to the podcast. But just helping voiceovers to be voiceovers and give them that support and this kind of mutual support network that we have within the voiceover industry is so important just to support people and celebrate them and also help them when they're down. I mean, I've seen some brilliant things when voiceovers have hit hard times, when, other people within the industry, not just the voiceovers, but the producers and the agents and people like that as well, have all kind of got together and helped that person back up with whatever issue it is, a health issue, a financial issue, whatever it is, help that person kind of back up and, just really, really given proper support, not just, hooray, let me come and have a drink with you, but actually you're down, let me help you up again.
I think off the back of that, are there any kind of tips that you would give to not just a VO, but any creative, freelancer, anybody that's wanting to get into the creative industry today? Like maybe just a few things from each of you. Just what would you say to them in terms of getting the best out of what you do?
For voiceovers specifically, from my standpoint as a studio person, I would say invest in your studio. And I'm not necessarily talking about financial investment. I think technological advances over the last decade mean that you can put together a good quality studio for nowhere near as much money as you used to have to spend. But I'd say invest in your studio in terms of time and energy as well as money. The one thing which a lot of people miss is the fact that your recording environment is probably the most important thing in your recording chain. You can have a cheap mic in a good sounding room and you can sound better than the most expensive mic in the world in a shoddy sounding room. You're much better off doing it the former than the latter. So investing time, making sure that your recording environment is really good, make sure that you know your equipment. I think a lot of voiceovers, because voiceovers are performers, they don't get into voicing to be sound engineers. I don't expect them to become sound engineers, but they do need to be studio managers. And a lot of voiceovers are quite scared of the equipment that they have. Less so these days, actually, because since the death of ISDN, a voiceover studio is a lot simpler than it used to be. But know your equipment. And actually, that kind of goes to the microphone as well. Microphone polarity, you can pick your voice up in different areas and it gives you a different level of movement. So if you know that if you move 6 inches to the left, you're going to start losing top end on your mic, then just teach yourself to sit still. Use that bass proximity effect when you need the warm voice and know how close you can get to your microphone so you get that warmth, but you don't get the popping and all that kind of stuff.
And Helen, I was going to ask the same of you as well. Like any tips that you have? I mean, you've got a really lovely story of kind of coming in and how you came into the industry.
Yeah.
So
I think twofold. One is to trust your gut. And to learn to really trust yourself. If something doesn't feel right, whatever it is, or you feel like you're being pushed into working a way that you don't want to work, then don't, and learn to stop that. But also, I think the biggest one, and it's one that Rob and I have really a continual learning thing, is to learn to stop and take breaks, and to allow yourself time off where the emails aren't coming in and the phone isn't ringing, and just learning to, however works for you, to give yourself that balance between working and not working. Because let's face it, as much as I love doing my job, that's not why I'm on the planet. I want to be able to go away and spend time with my friends and my family, and sometimes no one, just go off on my own.
Yeah.
But it's so hard having that, particularly when you're working from home, having that kind of constant, gentle call of the studio going, you've got this to-do list, You need to be doing the to-do list. You should be working on your to-do list, and learning that sometimes you just need to stop and walk away. And then if you come back to it, you probably get the to-do list done a lot quicker.
Oh, this has been so enjoyable. Oh, you guys are great. Like, it's nice to catch up like this as well. Like you said, like outside of work and getting to know people. I think sometimes it's a nice note to take away. Sometimes especially when we love what we do, we've got to find that kind of balance and, have these little catch-ups and go out and explore the world a little bit to kind of get creative and reset. And this has definitely been that for me. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for agreeing to come on. It's been good fun.
Yeah,
it's been awesome.
you.
And I'll see you in a few weeks.
You will.
Yes.
You will indeed.
Yeah.
On Voice.
I'll catch you guys soon.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bhav.
Cheers, Bhav.
All right.
We'll see you soon. All right. Bye-bye. Bye.
Panic room.
Welcome to the new Panic Room. This is one of the features that we are retaining from the previous regime. But obviously, Helen and I are not experts on vocal health, so we're not going to be taking questions in the way that Nick did. Every month, Helen and I run an Ask Us Anything session, which we host over Zoom, and people come along there and ask us questions about our areas of expertise. So anything studio for me, anything website, branding, marketing, and so forth for Helen. We are recording these sessions now, and these are with permission from the other people who appear in these clips. We are using the Ask Us Anything as a basis for the Panic Room. If you have a question for the Panic Room, you either will need to come to an Ask Us Anything, and the details of those will be found in our newsletters, or you can just record as a voice note or send us an email or something, and we can use either your audio or simply your question in future editions of the Panic Room. But to give you an idea of the kind of thing that we will be looking at in the Panic Room in the future, here are 2 short questions, one for each of us.
I've had really iffy experiences with trying to work with people on branding, and I've gotten a lot of contradictory comments from various people in the industry about branding.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'll do a quick answer because I think it is an interesting one, and I think my approach is different to some people's, and I certainly know it's different to people within the VO industry. I do not brand your voice. I brand you and the way that you work and the things that you care about and the things that you believe in, your values, your ways of working, and the relationship that you want to have with your client. Some people brand the voice.
Yeah, I find that really dodgy.
I just think that's a waste of time.
Yeah, I just think
I don't see how you can brand a voice if you do things like character voices.
Yeah.
To make it consistent. I don't see how you can brand a voice when you do characters and corporate and commercial or kids.
Yeah.
There's too many conflicts. But if you brand you and what matters to you and get something that feels right, that reflects your personality, whatever you voice, it will fit.
Great answer.
Thanks.
Seriously.
So
yeah.
I think there are a few big name VO branding people who don't have that approach, and I wholeheartedly disagree with them. But that's part of the joy, isn't it?
No, thank you. That actually, the issues that I've had are exactly along those lines.
Okay,
because
cool.
I went like, that doesn't make any sense. In any case, okay, I will get with you.
Cool.
Over to Rob.
I have a technical question that I saw somebody saying how if you have a high pass filter on your microphone that it should always be on, but I never have my high pass filter on my microphone. So is that just in case you actually need it in your space, or is it recommended to have it on all the time?
I recommend having it on.
Having it on, really?
But I have I've been party to conversations with other people who do my job. I'm trying to think of names of exactly who it was now, but I think probably Dan Leonard and maybe Uncle Roy, people like that, who have recommended not turning it on because you can always run a high pass filter in post.
Right.
Now, I do think obviously you can run a high pass filter in post, but there's 2 reasons why I think you should have it on. First reason is because if you have it on as you record, it means that the problems you are trying to get rid of in post are lessened. And the second reason I think you should have it on is because if you're doing a live connection with someone, it's not on. And so it can affect their opinion of your studio if that noise floor is grumbling up, or if you're very poppy on the mic and that kind of thing. Whereas if you've got the high pass filter on, you'll get rid of some of those issues. Again, the high pass filters on microphones tend to be quite gentle, so you're not going to completely clean things up probably with the high pass filter on your mic, but you will at least improve the quality of the audio that you are sending down the line to whoever you're sending it down to.
Okay, I'm gonna test it out.
Test it out. Try, do a quick recording as you normally would with it switched off, and then switch it on. You might get a little bit of a spike on your sound wave. So if you're wearing cans, just watch your ears. You'll easily be able to see where you turn it on or off if you do that.
Okay.
And then see if you can hear, not necessarily see if you can hear any difference, because the point is that it will make a difference, but see if you can hear any difference in your voice.
Okay.
Makes your voice sound any thinner at all, don't voice with it on.
Okay. All right.
I mean, for me, I don't have a deep voice, as I'm sure you can tell. I have 2 or 3 different microphones that all have high pass filters on. I've got a few that don't as well. And most of the time, I'm absolutely fine switching the high pass filter on.
Okay.
Some of them have got like 2-stage high pass filters. So you've got a gentle one and a more severe one. Most of those, I can't have the most severe one.
I have the Neumann U87. I think it just has the one.
Yeah, off the top of my head, I can't remember, but I think you're right. I think it does just have the one stage, which is fine. It will be gentle if it's just got the one. It's just that some mics do offer something a little bit more severe. But I can hear the difference in my voice between the more severe one and not at all. So, I never...
Difference being good or...
No. As in, I can hear my voice sounding thinner, and seeing as my voice isn't overly rich and salubrious anyway, and any thinner, and I'm knackered. Not that I'm a voiceover, so it doesn't really matter. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
If you can hear your voice kind of losing bottom end,
okay,
you've gone too far with your high pass filter.
So that's it for this month. Thank you so much to Bhav again for interviewing us. It was absolutely fabulous to chat.
It was great fun. Next month, we have a great guest lined up, but we're not going to tell you anything about that yet. All we're going to tell you is that podcast will be released on June the 4th. So until then...
Thank you so much for listening, and
we'll
see you next time.
Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the Voiceover Social podcast, hosted by Rob B and Helen Bee from BEE.
Sponsored by BEE.
Voiceover Social.
Thank you to our guest,
Bhav Parmar at voiceofbhavnisha.com and at Voice of Bhavnisha on socials.
The Voiceover Social.
So the socials we have coming up are the London Social today, Tuesday 7th of May from 4 p.m. Belfast Social is on the 11th of May. Hull Social in Barton on the 1st of June. Bristol Social on the 7th of June. Birmingham Social on the 15th of June. Manchester Social also the 15th of June. The Pint and Rabbit Virtual Social on the 21st of June. And the Berlin Social on the 27th of July.
The Voiceover Social.
All audio production by Rob B.
Please like, subscribe and leave a review to help more voiceover people find us.
And if you want to email us, it's listen@thevosocial.com.
See you next month. The Voiceover Social.